Dear viewers, good evening and welcome you all from Advanced IPSC Limited at our webinar on induction of the Lean Six Sigma company in the Netherlands and its operation in Bangladesh. Before moving forward, সামনে আমাদের বিজয়ের মাস সমাগত ডিসেম্বর, তাই আমরা আমাদের ভাষা শহীদদের প্রতি জানাচ্ছি বিনম্র শ্রদ্ধা এবং আমাদের স্বাধীনতা যুদ্ধের শহীদদের প্রতিও জানাচ্ছি অকৃত্রিম শ্রদ্ধা এবং সেই সাথে আমরা তাদের আত্মার মাগফিরাত কামনা করছি। Let me introduce guest joining with us, Mr. Mischa van Aalten. He is the Group CEO of the Lean Six Sigma company in Netherlands, and we have Mr. Dayan. He is from Sri Lanka. He is also CEO of the Lean Six Sigma company in Sri Lanka. We have prominent business personnel, Mr. Kumar, the CEO of Texworld Associates Ltd. We have Mr. AKM Shahuzzaman, Managing Director of Business Climate, and he is also ex-official of ILO. And we also have Mr. Moniruzzaman. He is the mentor of Lean Six Sigma company. Let me tell you a fact that brought us to this stage. In the early pandemic situation in our lockdown situation in our country, I got ample opportunity to work with the people who recently lost their job, and we were developing them for a digital marketing and I noticed that there is a mismatch in their skill and the payment package they were receiving at that time. So sorry to say that that really not very palatable. And on the other hand, I was thinking that their lack of skill is solely not their fault. Perhaps they were not groomed properly in their work, and their employer might not be aware that the hard-earned money was drained out having those in their work. It is common phenomena that we always look for high-quality product for any extent at the lowest price. And while we seldom focused on the quality engineering, adopting Lean and Six Sigma at the operational level. So we was in the crossroad and found the Lean Six Sigma to promote in affordable and convenient way to reach quality, skill development, and increase ROI for the organization. So at this point, I will request Mr. Mischa to light on the background of the Lean Six Sigma company, quality standard that follow, what, why, and how Lean Six Sigma impacts on business and individuals' welfare. So over to Mischa.
Thank you, Mr. Nahid, for your introduction. I'm very proud to be part of this. It's a new experience for me. Like Mr. Nahid said, I'm the CEO of the Lean Sigma Company Group. Our head office is in the Netherlands, and we are present in 25 countries in the world, where we help and learn individuals and companies using Lean Six Sigma. Mr. Nahid asked me to explain Lean Six Sigma, and I think there are many ways to explain Lean Six Sigma. I will explain it with a video afterwards. It's a methodology to improve processes and organizations, and it's a combination of two methodologies. First of all, Lean. Lean is originated in Japan and started by Toyota as the Toyota production system, and Six Sigma, which is originated in the USA and invented by Motorola and General Electric. Lean focuses more on lead time and the elimination of waste between value-add activities on your process, where Six Sigma focuses on process steps going first time right by eliminating defects and makes sure that things do not go wrong again. And together they optimize the process steps and the time you waste between these process steps and activities. We have a very simple video that gives a short and fast overview on what Lean Six Sigma can mean for your processes. Where Six Sigma is based on the quality and for every process step, Lean is more has all its tools on eliminating waste between these process steps, like stock, like waiting time, like movement, and so on. So I will start a short video to give you an overview on what Lean is and what Lean does, and what Six Sigma is and what Six Sigma does, and how it's a very strong combination. I hope this works out. Otherwise, I do it in a presentation. No problem. Oh, wait. One thing, I have to share my screen. Just a moment. Here I go. If you bear with me, I'll...
Sure, sure. Take your time.
I think I'll do it with the presentation because my computer doesn't allow the sharing. Just a moment. I'll try again. Share screen. Share screen. No, this doesn't work. I'm sorry for that. The sharing of my screen doesn't work, so I cannot show you the video, but you can find it on YouTube by searching for the Lean Six Sigma company. What is Lean Six Sigma? And you find it. In the end, it all starts with your customer. For everything you do in your company, you have to ask yourself, is my customer willing to pay for this? And you will be surprised how often the answer is negative, because your customer is not willing to pay for the fact the invoice is not correct, or that your shipment is not complete, or for mistakes that have to be corrected in your company. And sometimes it's up to 30% of time that people are busy in a company to correct mistakes that could be avoided. So there's a big potential for improvement in a lot of companies, almost every company. No company is perfect. And Lean Six Sigma is a methodology that gives you a roadmap and tools to eliminate the defects in your processes and also eliminate the waste and the time you waste with correcting everything that goes wrong. And the better you are at this, the better your productivity will be. And you have a competitive advantage, especially when your means are limited. Like now in the COVID-19 period, everybody has to work with less means and with less money and with less people. So you better do it right. Otherwise, you waste money and time, and you cannot afford that with all the competitors. So, and also, I think for growing economies like Bangladesh, this can be important to compete on an international level, especially with the other growing markets that are comparable with Bangladesh. And like Mr. Nahid already said, Lean Six Sigma is a skill. And the Lean Six Sigma company trains people in this skill and help companies to use Lean Six Sigma for continuous improvement. These skills you can learn on different levels. And all these levels are defined by an international standard called ISO 18404. So people can be trained up to black belt, green belt, lean practitioner, or lean leader. In the end, people have to do process improving themselves on all levels of a company. And it should be integrated in your day-to-day work. So everybody has to analyze his own work and see, does my work add value for the customer? What does and what doesn't? And they have to be learned to improve processes themselves on the shop floor. That's the first part. The second part is that for complex problems, you need professionals like black belts and green belts to improve processes on a higher level and find the causes of things going wrong and make sure they never happen again. And all employees in the company should recognize opportunities to improve. This way of working and thinking, it's very easy said, but it's a little bit harder done because it's almost a cultural change. And I'm not, and I'm very curious how that works in Bangladesh, and how the company cultures can adjust to continuous improvement. How they, if there is how do you call that? There's enough commitment to improve yourself on the shop floor, on management level, and all levels in a company. So I'm not the expert, so I'm very curious to hear how it works in Bangladesh by the other speakers, and where the challenges are to really work with Lean Six Sigma and to really be ambitious and focus on continuous improvement. So I'm also curious how that works in other Asian countries. So my next speaker, Dayan Hengedara, can tell you more about how Lean Six Sigma can develop in Asia, I assume. So this is in short what I wanted to say about Lean Six Sigma and the Lean Six Sigma company. So thank you for your attention so far. If you have any questions, or do we questions at the end?
Yes, thank you very much, Mischa, for the comprehensive statements regarding the Lean and Six Sigma and how it works. We will come back to you once we finish Dayan and others.
Okay. Thank you.
So at this point, I would request Dayan to describe the challenges and how does the success story, if anything in hand. So share so that in our country we can also develop in like that manner. Over to Dayan. Then we cannot hear you, Raj.
You need to unmute. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
We have started our journey with Netherlands 2019 April. Like for last 1.5 year, 18 months, we have like big growth, like Lean and Six Sigma. How in Asia, like everyone having like mindset, Lean Six Sigma cannot use for service industry. But we face that challenge in Sri Lanka. We have done many projects. We have trained many persons in banking industry and apparel service side, like front end side, that finance side. Like we can apply that Lean and Six Sigma tools. If I share that success story, what we after our sessions we do, our team members have to do project with their environment, their business division. Then with that banking industry, they have came with many projects. Like it's 10 times their courses free free. That means just say that our cost free, then it's 10 times savings through that green belt and black belt project. That's a saving which we can get from Lean Six Sigma. And the banking side, like how we can give better services for our customers, like how we can give like improve their productivity, like internal bank side, like how they can reduce their lead time on loan processes, home loan processes, maybe like each activity, like they can do that kind of lot of projects with Lean Six Sigma. Then after our session, they came across that kind of projects. Like that's how we provide our services for Sri Lanka and total Asia. And when it's come to logistics side also we can have that kind of many projects. Like many people in Sri Lanka, they in logistics side they have trained get trained our company, the Lean Six Sigma Sri Lanka company. Then they came across many projects, like just said how they can improve their like unloading time, then how they can improve their service point, like after inspection, just say the apparel side, unloading and inspection side, how they can improve their processes. Like not only Lean, like Six Sigma also apply for that kind of improvement. And when it's come to manufacturing things, apparel manufacturing, currently like Bangladesh, I think like so many apparel factories is there. In that kind of COVID situation, challenging situation, they have to see like how they can reduce their cost, and then how they can reduce their process variations. That's the key part. Otherwise, like that kind of challenging situation, there will be many challenges with their financial. Then they have to focus on Lean and Six Sigma. Then it will help them to overcome that challenging situations. Like just say that, for example, like currently, like many apparel leaders in Sri Lanka, like they train for mass. Like after their training, they came across many projects, like how they can reduce their changeover times, how they can like Lean is the first part. Then some problems we can't solve with the Lean, then we have to get Six Sigma tools, like how we can reduce that change over time. Like that's the thing, how that I think that knowledge will benefit for branding for all Bangladesh people. And when it's come to like other manufacturing industry, just say that printing industry, there are so many printing plants in Sri Lanka, and like how with that overall equipment efficiency, how like that they can use that Lean Six Sigma tools and Toyota production systems. Like it will help all people to improve their productivity and save many like their cost, reduce their cost and improve their profitability. Like there are so many that kind of success story from our side, like printing industry, manufacturing, apparel industry, service industry related, banking, and some universities, their processes and their like data management system, how they can use Lean Six Sigma, and like that level people can use Lean Six Sigma. Then I think that we can time we can share our knowledge with our partners. Then it will help them to do many improvements with their clients. And when it's come to challenges, like what we face at the organizations, like that people when people train from us, there are there was situation like there is no data with company. That's a big challenge for Six Sigma. Like data should be there, then data sources should be with them. Like first phase will be Lean, then after they have to do many improvement with us. Like that's why we give in our courses first days we will give Lean thinking, and then they have to start their working with how they can standardize their processes, how they can create their data sources, how they can start their data collecting process. Then with that they can complete their Six Sigma projects. And other challenge is that how we can change their culture in organization. Like all top level people have to engage with that kind of changes. Change management is should start from top management. Like, top management people have to give their attention, and have built some kind of change agents with them, and build some kind of project teams with them, and drive with them with that kind of Lean Six Sigma projects. I think that there are so many success story, and there are challenges. We have to overcome challenges, and definitely our people can overcome that kind of COVID situation, and increase our profitability at our apparel and service and manufacturing and service industry. I think that that is that explain everything. Further, like if anyone needed some whatever practical examples, then they can contact us, the Lean Six Sigma Asia. Like we have our LinkedIn page, then they can reach us, and definitely we will give. We will help other people. Like our vision is to create change agents for Lean total Asia. That's our vision. How we can create productive change agents for.
Okay, thank you, Dayan, for sharing the successes and challenges. Definitely, those are the very basic principle in the business operation. However, the process improvement and the technology and the methodology can be applied in the business for the betterment. So, at this moment, I will request Mr. Shapon Kumar Dash to share us his business practices and whether he feels it's feasible to apply the Lean Six Sigma in his business. Mr. Shapon Kumar Dash.
Thank you, Nahid. Thank you, all the participants here. I think this is a practice, Six Sigma. Since its introduction, it has very effective results given in the industrial sector and other service sector. But I am, at this stage, I'm a little afraid about Bangladesh, especially those sectors which are mainly manpower oriented. Manpower based sectors, manufacturing sectors, because our manpower mostly unskilled and less educated. In that case, I am little afraid how it will take time. Maybe we need to educate those people, need to train up those people in their professional lines. Only then these can be utilized properly. Otherwise, this is very much effective for the automation industry. This is my idea. I'm as a consultant in the industrial sector, I have been oriented with mostly for the textile sector, then some other textile related ancillary industries, and also some paper mills. But in all these sectors, except a few factories, what I am noticing, we are mainly based on our manpower. The machinery what we are using at this stage, not all automated. But say in the garments, I'm citing an example of the garments. If before it was hand cutting, now it is CAD, and the spreader is used for the cutting system. Before it was manually operated machines. Now one addition, that's auto stitch and auto everything. So we are reducing the manpower. Still then, we are not using updated machines and upgraded machines in all our production line. So this Six Sigma, if we want to get the benefit of this, we have to have the control. To get the control, we need to monitor the phases. And for monitoring all those things, we need skilled manpower. This is the main thing, what I am observing, what I am watching, that it can be a barrier to implement this in Bangladesh, especially in garment sector. Maybe if our electronic industry comes up, there most of the machines will be automated. And there we can utilize this. And also some other sectors, Bangladesh is coming up. Many industries are coming up, what we even don't know. But those are being installed, machines installed, and the production is also under process. But I feel you need to cater the total market, and as a most valuable this idea and the theories, if we can practice with skilled manpower, definitely we can get good result. And from my experience, I feel, and I just foresee those days when Bangladesh, as the garment industry will be fully automated. We'll be using now what we are using 1,000 labor. Maybe there we can work with 100 labor. And that day is coming soon. And we are already searching for that and those kind of machines. And with the machines, this kind of Six Sigma and this policy and their implementation can give us good results in the garment sector also, and also in other manufacturing and service sectors. I very much appreciate you people who are going to introduce this in Bangladesh for improving the knowledge, skill of our manpower, and improve the productivity and the quality, and to get the customer satisfaction and to reduce the cost, and everything will be benefited for our industry, overall GDP growth. That's my idea.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shapon Kumar Das. Thanks for sharing the insight of the labor-intensive industry that we have and the challenges. I think Dayan already knew those things, and his people is also working. But I will come back to Dayan later. And beforehand, I would like to listen from Mr. AKM Shahuzzaman, since he was delivering his many trainings on the TV8, I mean, technical, vocational, and educational training. So that might also have a complementary to develop the people's skill. So considering those aspects, Mr. Shohid, can you highlight that how this new approach can be effective in our industry, so that comprehensively as a country as a whole we can gain the better positive result?
Thank you, Nahid, and thank you all the participants for your insights. Before I go to technical and education topic, I think let me bring the focus how private sector react to this sort of approaches. From my experience, actually, I would say, first of all, you all know that they need it. However, they are unwilling to spend money behind this initiative. So that is the main crunch of it. Like any other skills training or any other pilot projects, private sectors still think this sort of work or this sort of projects, initiatives are these investing in these initiatives are cost, not investment. So that is the prime thing. And for that, I think we made various business cases we tried to do and reflect those business cases in front of the private sector. You see, Bangladesh is a developing country now. Our per capita is 2000, and surely being a developing country, since it is in a transition mode now, a lot of enterprises will grow. Certainly it will grow. And for that, key thing would be enhancing productivity. Even the point came up from Dayan and others regarding apparel industry in Bangladesh. Shapun Bhai also said that apparel industry actually has become terribly competitive. Terribly. Few companies in a group owned by same owner compete each other to get an order. Here the situation has become like that. So to overcome this sort of situation from buyers, there is no alternative to improve productivity, to implement lean, Six Sigma, whatever you say, and to improve the overall performance at the floor.
The
Now,
bottom line will be
regarding
the reducing the operational cost.
certainly, otherwise, you cannot increase the contribution margin. And obviously, Six Sigma reduces the operational cost. It focuses on customers. So, there is no conflict. However, this sort of soft approach, soft project approaches, once they go to approach to the private sector, Dayan is working. I think he is also knowledgeable. He should be knowledgeable that our private sector, they think, oh, this is the thing, this is the initiative, we know this, we don't need any external resources. So therefore they try to do at their own with very informal knowledge that they have, and that's how it fails. I would say this needs to have an institutional program, and from TVET perspective, as you said, we actually, what we did earlier, that we trained the top level managers of the company, the CEOs, the executive directors, the directors, and actually that should be the approach. Unless they are educated, they give their consent to this sort of initiatives, the mid-level and lower-level managers can't do anything. As you know, this needs full participation from the management, and it has to be owned and done by them. That education has to be there at the top level, that motivation has to be there, that business cases needs to be floated there. I can give you quickly quick example. We implemented Lean and Kaizen, 5S, 3S, whatever you say, including Six Sigma, wherever the company they wanted to afford, in various companies. In shoe factory like Picard, you have heard, Picard is a German-based brand. We have implemented this in a brand furniture company in Bangladesh, Hatil. We also implemented this in a couple of apparel companies and also hotels. Actually, all of them later on said that they improved productivity by at least 10%, which is a very good sign. And those cases actually later on we used to circulate to others. Now, I want to emphasize on one key aspect, that is that Lean Six Sigma is not just an approach or not just a project to reduce cost and to improve quality and to reduce waste. It is this needs to be placed in that way, that it is a cultural change in an organization. It is a total shift from here to here. So that's how all the employees, staffs, and managements have to be motivated. So that message has to be there, from from the implementer's perspective. And from the course design, as Nahid, as you have been asking, actually in Bangladesh, technical and vocational education did a lot of reform already. Once, we had traditional training system. Now we have competency-based training system, which means you have a qualification now. It is no more, theoretical based. It is a qualification based, aligned with other developed countries. So I would strongly suggest, we work with Bangladesh Technical Education Board. We work with National Skills Development Authority here. So they are the competent authority to develop competency standards on any occupation. So this Lean Six Sigma LSS can be, brought into their focus, and competency standards can be developed. Though it would be really difficult task, because it varies from industry to industry. However, the fundamentals are same. So I would suggest that this can be brought into Technical Education Board Authority. Let's develop the standards, and let's float a formal qualification course. So that would actually encourage the young and youths in this country to take these courses. And obviously, why they will take these courses, that again needs to be addressed. For this moment, Nahid, I would stop here. I would really love to answer the questions of the participants. Thank you.
Okay. Mischa, coming back to you, since Shahid mentioned that this is the qualification that the youth and others can pursue, so this qualification has to be equivalent to a global standard or else. So would you please light on this, that how this is a global qualification can take place to attract the people for their skill development? Because I know that this qualification will definitely help them for the migration from a country like Bangladesh to USA or Canada, or they can use this same certification in the developed country. So I'm requesting you to touch more on that part.
Yes, that's a very good question, because a lot of companies already saw a market in certification and accreditation. So there are a lot of accreditation companies that made their own standards. And the problem is to get an objective standard. So that's the reason why we followed the ISO standard, because the ISO made some standards for Lean Six Sigma. One of them is the ISO 18404. That's about skills. That describes the skills people need to be a black belt, to be a green belt, to be a lean leader, lean practitioner, and so on. So we are certified for that standard, and it's a third-party certification. And it's important to look at third-party certification, because you also have some standards like the ISSC in the United States, and that they make their own standards, but they also do the audits and the certification. So you don't have an objective party that looks at your program and says, okay, this is according to the standard. And with the ISO 18404, that is the case. And also the ISO 13053, that describes all the tools and how to use them, and the systems and the structures for Lean Six Sigma. So here you have international standards that are independent, and you need a third party to certify for these standards. So I think it's very important to standardize your program, your way of work, and what is a black belt, what is a green belt, and what is Lean Six Sigma all over the world. And that's one of our goals, to do that with all our partners all over the world, that we have the same way of training people, learning them the skill of Lean Six Sigma based on international standards. So I think that's important to speak the same language and the same international Lean Six Sigma language. That answers your question?
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. Coming back to Dayan, that Mr. Chapon has highlighted the labor-intensive industry has challenges to implement the Lean Six Sigma. Okay, unless otherwise the things are operational or automated or automation is taken place. So, can you advise from your experience in apparel industry from Sri Lanka how they succeed in overcoming that part?
Yeah, productivity improvement. Like your sound was like echo with the echo. Then I think you asked question like how like challenges like productivity improvement things how happening in Sri Lanka with Lean Six Sigma.
Yeah, particularly in the labor intensive industry, as Mr. Chapon was highlighted that this is the very challenging part.
Yeah. At the initial stage, that as we discussed at that first discussion, like at the initial stage, there will be difficulty to change their culture. Like that's the first thing. Like it should be like as Said explained. Like first, it should be come from top management. There should be top management approach, top to bottom. But bottom level, people should have some kind of basic understanding about lean processes, how they can do small changes like kaizens, how they can work with their processes, like how they can standardize their working. That kind of simple knowledge they should have first. Like, and top management people should have like all like how they can change culture, that how they can use the lean human value stream. It's called HVS, human value stream thinking on HR. Like it will help all organizations to change their culture first. Then like human value stream, when it's come to human value stream, what we talk like how we can attract correct people to organization. That's the first thing. Like we have to create that layer first. We have to attract required people like with their competencies, what company competencies required, and they have to select correct people first. Correct people they have to attract. Then how they can develop people, like learning and development part. Then how they can improve their knowledge on problem solving. That's a basic one. Then basic, it's called we call as PDCA thinking. Like first attract, then develop, and then how we can engage with them, like problem solving culture. Then people will inspire. Then that's the cycle. Like then only we can retain people in organization. Then retention should be people. Retention should be, otherwise very difficult to maintain that kind of standard like Lean and Six Sigma. People retention should be at highest level. Like otherwise, then it will impact to organization productivity. Then when it's come to like that kind of huge people involvement, like manual working, that kind of industry, first approach should be lean. Then they have to improve their processes. Then they have to create their data sources. Like then they can have data, like how they can visualize their data first. Then only they can see like how they can analyze their data. Then basics is like there will be challenges with people. We have to give attention that kind of basic level lean improvement, kaizens, like kaizens, small kaizens, then PDCA thinking. It will help all organization first. Then then they can go into Six Sigma. Otherwise, even they know they have certificate, they have everything, even they have done 1 or 2 projects, there won't be sudden changes in organization. First thing, what we also advise all team members do, just first apply that our lean tools at their organization. In our courses, like we customize our things in Asia. Like we do like lean side 6 assignment for everyone. Then personally, me and Pradesh coach each person. Individually, we do coaching for people. Like we give, we individually, we check their assignments, like 5S assignment. That's a basic assignment. Then we do like process mapping assignment to iGraphic. Then simulation, like we do that kind of training for people. Then after they are training, whatever, when ongoing training, like we do each week, we give them assignments, 6 assignments for them. When after there will be whatever 2 days for lead training, then after then we start that journey with them for next 10 weeks. Even they final day also we discuss the assignments. Like each one they have to present their assignments at the classes. Like 5S assignment, process mapping, how they can improve their processes, how they can create a better flow, that how they can map their value streams, how they can do like identify customer voice, and how they can big like macro level thinking, CPOC, that kind of assignments, individual assignment we do. Like with that, I think like we can approach that kind of bottom level people and top level people first, and next that means Kaiser's activity for next layer. And with that, I think like we can change that culture. Leadership should have that fashion first. Otherwise, it will very difficult to change. Even they have certificate all Lean Six Sigma, Green Belt or Black Belt, it will not add value for them. That's why I highlighted at the initial discussion as well. Like we create change agents. We will not sell our certificate in Asia. That's at the our partner discussions also. We clearly said like we will not sell certificate. The Lean Six Sigma is not the selling certificate. That's we create change agent for the world. In Asia, we create change agents for Asia. That's our vision. Like then there won't be any business with us. Like we will create people. We will create leaders for Asia. I think it's clear everything. No, we create leaders. We will not sell certificate.
Thanks, Dayan, for that formulating that very clear.
Yes, now that is very encouraging to nurture and create new leaders in the field. So now I will go back to Mr. Monir to share some experience from his business practices, focusing on the Lean Six Sigma.
Thank you, Mr. Nahid. Well, the two things are coming up together. One is Lean, and another is Six Sigma. So basically, the Lean is more related with the culture one. As I have heard someone saying, so that the culture need to be changed, and it's a good idea to start changing from top to down. So if in the organization the CEOs and the top leaders are ready to change, so it will be easier for the whole company to adapt the lean practices. And it's true for the labor intensive market, the focus should be first on the lean practices. If the lean practices are there, then we can move forward for the next one is statistical improvement and using the statistical tools to reduce the variations and others and so on and so forth. So usually in Bangladesh, the practice is like we want to go for the bulk manufacturing batches. We don't like small batches because if we produce more, economic factor helps us to reduce the per unit cost. Well, Lean and Six Sigma together does something the other way around. In the Lean and Six Sigma processes, we have seen small batch sizes, and yet it's running efficiently, and cost per unit is yet very low. What we practice nowadays and very common culture in our country is we want to have high amount of inventory. Eventually, we use buffer in many processes. So if something goes wrong and we don't run dry, Lean thinks in different way, because if we use a lot of buffer and lot of inventory, it's actually money which is sitting idle, and at the end of the day, it's the cost per unit is going to be higher. So to reduce this, we just cannot eliminate the buffer and inventory from today, because the fact is that we hide all the problems in the buffers and inventories. So what we have to do first is to look for the lean practices and adapt the lean practices as a culture. So there is a cultural changes, and it takes time in any industry. And then we have to introduce the statistical process and procedures, so that we can pinpoint where the problems are. And once we pinpoint the problems, we can go forward to solve it. So Lean Six Sigma, the target is minimizing the inventory at every stages. Um, as a manufacturer, the target is very simple. We want higher ROI. So we are investing money. We want to get back the money as fast as possible. We have seen in different countries, in Japan particularly, and other countries where Lean Six Sigma practices has been involved. The ROI of the industry was really fast, and payback period was very short. And one thing, the other thing, what we want to focus on is the quality of the product. Well, one thing is that we want higher efficient product, and ROI should be faster, and payback period should be less. But here in the Lean Six Sigma, we actually talk about the quality from inside out. And in this space, Lean and Six Sigma comes together and work for the best quality. The target is to meet the quality at the very first go, so that we don't lag behind with the quality. And the Lean Six Sigma is actually a complete package. So as a mentor, when I look for a course for my mentees, the first thing come up in my mind that there should be a complete one, not a separate packages. So I look forward for the books. First of all, I want to give books and the course materials, and I also want to facilitate them in a classroom. I want to take some Q&A sessions with them, and at the end of the day, I want to be in an exam with them and have them their exam passed. So the Lean Six Sigma company, what they offers is quite like a very compact and complete package. The best thing is that after passing the exam, you just cannot say you're done with this. You have to do a complete package at your workplace, at your industry, and you have to add the value to the industry. Once you do this, it will be a black belt. So it's not very easy to do it. It's not just passing an exam. It actually comes up adding value to it. Lean Six Sigma, when we say Lean, always talk about the culture. And when we say Six Sigma, people think about the statistics a lot. And this is quite like an immense problem we have with the statistics and the Lean Six Sigma. Because statistics really tough. And there is a solution for it, because we don't want our black belts and green belts doing time, because doing calculation is never the target. The target is to do the analytical stuffs and analyzing things and understand the whole process and pinpoint the problems and other locations are. So Minitab is a very good tool. I have seen other Six Sigma courses and classes where people are not really learning Minitab. And learning Minitab is a very good value addition to do the project as a practically in the real field. So here we cover the Minitab totally, so that people are ready for their black belt projects and add value in their organizations. We also look forward for iGraphics, some other softwares which can help with the doing the lean tools and doing other value string mappings and so on and so forth. So the target is, after finishing the whole course and procedures and whatever we have and whatever we've offered, we are actually creating a person who is actually fit for the job. It's not just a service, or it's not just a product. As Mr. Dan said, we are creating our leaders. So it also solves other problems. The problems like we have certified people who cannot really do the job because the simple thing is that they are not used to with these lean tools. They are not used to with the mini tabs and others. And when they are going for the function, they feel a lot of difficulties to overcome those. So I want to conclude by saying the very two short stuff. One is like we have to take lean as a culture. Of course, cultures takes time. So the first value addition is the lean as a culture. Second value addition is a Six Sigma as a, it's not a statistical procedure, but it's a more like an analytical procedure to understand the process better. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Monir. Particularly, we got many points like need the cultural change, which need to be driven by the leadership, and of course, the technology will help to get the best result. Having many tabs, so we need not to go for the every calculation of the statistics, rather the software to done so, and we can use technology for the best result. So even we don't have that much skill or expertise in the Lean Six Sigma qualified professional in our country. So that's why our initiative is in place, and we'll learn from the industry, and we will focus on to eliminate who are the barriers in the industry is facing. Yes, of course, it is needed from the top down. So I will again go back to Mr. Chapon to tell his last word that from the today's discussion. We cannot hear. You are mute probably. We cannot hear you. Can you please unmute?
I think Mr. Shafan is not audible.
Yes. Now audible. Yeah.
Now audible.
No. Anyway, we lost him again, and can we go for the closing remarks from Mischa, and if Dayan can add anything?
Yes, I heard a lot that it shall start as a top-down approach. What we see more and more in Europe at the moment is that a lot of universities also put it in their classes. They also teach Lean or basics or Six Sigma basics, so that process improvement is one of the courses you get at the university. So we cooperate a lot with universities on one part together to teach professional business, but on the other part also the students. So we have some colleges where students can become green belt as part of their diploma. And I don't know how it works in Bangladesh, but maybe there's also an opportunity there to make process improvement also part of the curriculum of universities and studies.
Yeah,
How do you see that?
great.
Actually, we
particularly
have National Productivity Organization, just for your information. Okay. So they are actually in charge of implementing any tools that are related to productivity. So NPO, in short, National Productivity Organization, can be also partnered with.
Particularly Shohid, in recent time, I saw in the newspaper that UGC, University Grant Commission, also requested all the universities to revisit their syllabus. So I think it is a good time to in touch with them so that some curriculum changes can take place, focusing on Lean Six Sigma, which is very much applicable in the business.
Sure. Why not? We did similar effort to mainstream entrepreneurship in regular curriculum. Similar way, productivity enhancement. They might not, particularly focus on specifically Lean Six Sigma, but in general they can focus on improvement at the factory floor. Why not? And they can, mention those tools where Lean Six Sigma will automatically come in. So UGC can be worked out too, Nahid.
Thank you. Any closing remarks from Dayan?
Do you have any other?
As Mischa explained, we have to create that leaders. Then we have to start from universities and school levels. What we have started that kind of projects with Sri Lankan universities, and we are approaching India. Then we can start Bangladesh as well. Like we do some kind of basic knowledge training for university team, university members, and then lectures, that kind of sessions. Then not only that, school, that mean higher education level people, we do that kind of session for them. And explain like how we can combine the work with each country, like not only one country. Like if Bangladesh having problem, then we can help. Like if India having problem, we can help. We are one team. In Asia, we have 12 partners in Asia now. Then we will work as one team. We can create leaders in Asia. As a one team, we can create a journey for, not for any one country, we can create journey for total Asia. We will with Bangladesh people.
Yeah, very pleasant statement, Dayan. Thank you very much.
I'd like to, Nahid.
Please.
Just in one word, one sentence, I'd like to tell one thing. It would be probably helpful for both Mischa and Dayan and others also for us, that these sort of initiatives, whenever we try to apply for the private sector, it doesn't or it shouldn't look like a supply side approach. Therefore, what came out from our experiences, let spell out the industrialists about the benefit of this.
Exactly.
Like, a renowned industry owner himself or herself is telling why he or she implemented this, what is the benefit, rather than we say.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where the benefit is, and it runs faster.
Thanks.
You.
1 minute for Monir to closing remarks.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of things came around. I'm quite agreed. So it will future is the industry owners who want to have the Lean Six Sigma practices in their industry, and they are actually going to be benefited by this. So the actually buy-in from the customer to this point should come from top down. as we all are discussing. So I hope forward for the best for the Lean Six Sigma company and the implementation of Lean Six Sigma practices, particularly in our manufacturing and service industries. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manir. Last word, Mr. Shapan Kumar Das.
How this can be effective in case of non-automated industry?
Yeah.
We'll come with a very comprehensive proposal to you. Hope that will help.
I think in short, I can help you with this with a very short one. We actually have to see in this case the shop floor itself where the production is going on, and in some way it can help you out.
Please keep your door open to enter us so that we can visit and understand your operational process. And our team from Sri Lanka is also very much ready to help us out.
We are open
to solve the problem.
We are open
so
to.
We'll comprehensively we will help.
If you have problem, that's good opportunity for everyone. We have to find solution. If you can't understand the problem, that's the big problem. First, we have to understand there's a problem, then we can find solution.
Yeah, true. Very much true.
Yeah.
So we are closing today, and thank you very much for participating and giving us time. I mean, very, very valuable and very valuable time to us. And at the last but not the least, that I also would like to thank my from entire team to the Channel I family for giving us the opportunity for facilitating this program. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.